Ta-da-da, ta-da-da, scrap your trip, ta-da-da-da.
Hey guys, it's Tiff.
And Leo. And we're here with this wonderful sketch that Tiff made. Last time that we had a poll, you guys said that you wanted to see how layout was made step by step. And while we don't have the time to do something that in-depth, we did want to start with something basic. Tiff, can you explain?
Sure. What I did was I created this sketch. I actually did it on the computer just so it's easier to see on camera. However, by no means do I usually do that. I'll grab just a regular notebook and sketch in that. But you can get ideas from anywhere. This one actually came from an advertisement in a magazine. It wasn't even scrapbooking related. And it just had some photos with little icons in between the photos. And I thought it was pretty cool, so I decided to incorporate it into a layout design.
Right. And I see that you've labeled all the things right there.
I went ahead and put in, just so you can see where I'd placed the photos, some embellishments, and also, by no means do you have to stick by that. If you don't want to put the embellishments in there, maybe you want them uniform and straight across the page, you can do that. Maybe you want your title at the top and the journal at the bottom. Anything, you're able to switch it around and change it up.
These are the supplies. Can you tell us about it, Ted?
Sure, we'll start with the basil cardstock. That's actually several different colors. I'm just showing you one here. Some of the SYT pattern papers, then some buttons from Basic Gray, some dimensional foam adhesive, an additional adhesive, whatever you like to use, and also a 3/4 inch circle punch.
Cool. And then we have a few scraps right here. Can you tell us about that?
Actually, these scraps, I like this paper a lot. It's great to use by itself, but also you'll see in the layout where I just used this center brown section and I cut off the strip at the top and the bottom, and it's pretty neat because you have this left over to use on another layout. So just an extra idea for you.
And now, the layout. Tiff?
I actually started with a pattern zebra paper from Scrapper Trip, and I just want to show you, let me flip it over. I like to use pattern paper as the background on my layout a lot, but I hate that when I put another piece on top of it, I lose all of that pattern I could be using on something else. So I actually will glue around the edges and then take an X-Acto knife and cut that out so that I still have this large scrap of paper to use on this layout or another one. Next, I layered a piece of the basil cardstock on top. I actually trimmed 1/4 inch on two sides of it and then glued that down for a nice center to the page. And with the paper I showed you previously that had a strip at the top and the bottom, I cut out the middle section and actually added that to the middle of the layout. And I also trimmed my photos and matted them on white cardstock. I kind of figured white would give it a pop, again with the zebra pattern in the back. Next, I went ahead and cut tiny strips of the green paper I showed you and put it at the top and the bottom. And then I also glued my die cut together, and I actually pop dotted that to the layout so you can kind of see.
To add more dimension to it?
Add more dimension to it. Just pop it up from the photos a little bit. And then I also added the border strip at the top. And I also added a journal spot. I just cut a piece of the basil cardstock, matted it on the white again, and used a little brad to add the journaling.
And it was a lighter shade from the one that you got to give it good contrast, right?
Thanks. And then also there's where your 3/4 inch circle punch comes in. I used our SYT pattern paper and just pop dotted those again just for a little more dimension to the layout. Added a few green buttons. Everybody has buttons around, and if you don't, we showed you those ones earlier.
And a lot of this, if not all of this, is available online for you to purchase.
Absolutely. Actually, under the video we will have links to all the products. Okay guys, one last thing. I wanted to bring the sketch back in to show you the sketch versus the layout. And I just wanted to show you, originally when I was doing it, I thought I was going to put a piece of pattern paper back here behind the photos, but on the layout it didn't really work so much. So I just wanted to show you how versatile a sketch can actually be and how much you can change it. Even though you may have an original idea, it may work differently on your actual layout.
And it's mostly used as a guide, if you will, right?
Right. Once again, this is Tiff.
And Leo, and this has been going from sketch to layout. We hope that you enjoyed the video.
And don't forget to leave us comments.
And as always, happy scrapping! Ta-da-da, ta-da-da, scrap your trip, ta-da-da-da!